I am back. Hello friends, welcome back to another video. I hope you all are enjoying these series of videos that I've been sharing with you all. In these vlogs I share my childhood with you all, going back to my roots, so I hope you're enjoying them. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I know it's Christmas and Dirty December has begun officially, okay, so get into it. But in today's video I will be taking it a step further to talk more into details about where I live with my parents and my siblings once we went to the US in 2000 and came back in 2005. We lived here for a couple of years before I personally left this place to the US, which is where I went to Seattle and I became a flight attendant, among other things. Before I jump into this video, go ahead and like today's video. Subscribe to become part of the family if you haven't already. The goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's get into it. So once I moved back to Ghana this year, August 2025, I decided to go back to my roots just to visit the areas that I lived and played during my childhood and spend majority of my years at, because where we currently live, I've only lived here since I moved back here. So in today's video, the place that I'm going to be showing you all is where I actually lived once we returned back from the US after I think I was in junior high then. But the building has changed. Like the bottom part that you're seeing right now with the blood gates, it wasn't like that before, but it was a 2-bedroom house with one garage, 2 garages at the bottom, and then the 2 bedrooms were upstairs as well. So the bottom garages, one was an actual garage and a storage unit, and then the other one was turned into a store. We used it to operate a business, events business, and then also at some point it was a cold store at some point as well. But we've changed the setup. At some point we rented the building out to a hospital, and now we have to change the setup and everything. But this is the building, guys. I literally was living here before I moved out of here to the US, to Washington State, to Seattle. So upon entry, the first part you see is our bathroom, which is so tiny, guys. The sink you see behind me, we used to have a washing machine and a dryer in that corner, but this was our bathroom. Not much has changed here except for the fact that it looks old, but everything seems to be where it used to be. And it was for a family of 6 guys, so you can see how tiny it was. But this was our bedroom for 4 kids. I mean, depending on the season and the school year, it was for 3 people, but it was ultimately for the 4 of us. This tiny little room, guys, it was a bunk bed in this room, so I had to share a bed with my siblings, among other things. But it was all good. When we lived here, I did junior high while we were living here, the rest of junior high while we were living here, because I went to Achimota JSS, and then I did high school. I went to Accra Wesley Girls. Also, I was a day student. I did boarding for junior high, and then I did day school for for senior high, because I did not want to do boarding again. I preferred going to school and coming back home, like the US style of education. And then I did college here as well. So while I was going to the University of Ghana to do my first degree, I was actually living here. This is where we lived. This is the living room area, guys. I can't remember the number of months or years or hours spent in this room. This brown wooden structure here used to be our dining room. We never had a dining table there, but it was supposed to be a dining room. It's so funny. This was supposed to be a dining room. The hospital people changed the setup and everything. So, but yeah, that was supposed to be a dining room, and we never ate there. We never sat. There was never a table there to begin with. So, I guess it is what it is. Mind you, guys, I know I haven't mentioned the location yet, but this was Chorkor, Miami. So I lived in Chorkor. If you're not familiar with the place, if you live in Ghana, you know when they're listing the top 5 slums in Accra, this area is part of it. This particular area of it is not as bad as the other parts is, but at the end of the day, it's all part of the city. It's a slum, okay? So that's where we lived. But this is obviously, if you've been watching my other vlogs, a much better upgrade compared to where we lived at Chemwena, which was literally like a compound house. So this land that our building is on was actually bought by my parents. They used to own a bar, and when they used to operate a bar on this land, and once my that traveled or had got the opportunity to travel to the US, I think they decided to demolish it. He purchased the land from the landowners and then built the building, so our house there. So it's still owned by us, is still for us and all that good stuff. But this is the view, guys. We get an ocean view because the area where we lived in is literally on the shores of Ghana. That is a Gulf of Guinea that you're looking at. But these are the moments, or this is the part of this area that I appreciate so much. It's honestly a blessing and a curse. A curse in the sense that the salt water from the breeze from the ocean can damage almost anything, guys. But the view is impeccable. And one time or a few times I've been able to see the moon cast its light in on the ocean, where it's darkness on your left, darkness on your right, and then there's like a light in the middle with the moon just shining or gracing over the water. That's so beautiful, guys. But once again, this is what the ocean does to the door. This door has actually been standing pretty strong because it's been there for over 25 years, and the ocean water just causes it to rust, among other things. But once you sandpaper it or scrub it a little bit and you paint it, it's back to brand new again. But yes, remember when I said in my earlier vlogs where I said that even though we started from like literally the bottom, if not under the bottom, like it was a struggle to get to where we are now. When we had the opportunity to change, my parents had the opportunity to change our circumstances. We did not just blow up, you know, it had to go from somewhere. So we lived in Chamoy, now we lived in the compound house, which was the worst part of the slums. And then we're able to build our own house, still further ahead, further better than where we used to be. And then now we're obviously not living here anymore, but it just goes to show that sometimes not everybody gets an opportunity to go all the way to number one or to the top. Sometimes you might move from the bottom, to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 before you move all the way to the top. So just appreciate wherever it is that you are in your journey right now, and know that things can get better if you put in the work. My parents sacrificed so that we can be able to enjoy now and have the opportunities that we have now. They could have easily taken the opportunities that they got and blown through it and did whatever they could do to satisfy whatever personal desires that they had. But they thought of the long term goals, which is why in my situation, I've begun to have like a greater appreciation for my finances, for saving, for investing, because at the end of the day, I don't want to remain wherever it is that they've taken us to. I want things to get better. I want things to move forward. So this is just a motivation, you know that we started from somewhere. Things were not always rosy. It's not obviously perfect right now, but it's way better than it was before. So yeah, this is it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to become part of the family, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.